Hello, this is going to be me doing my dream play. First, I'm going to talk about the dream. I only have one chair, so I won't really be able to move around much, but I can begin by talking about the dream. So, at the start of the dream, I remember I was walking on these train tracks on a bridge over the water, and I know that to the left of me was like this huge ocean, and I remember that the sun was setting over there, and I was walking on the tracks, and there were no like guardrails or anything on either side, so it was just a big, seemingly endless, like long bridge. And I was just walking through, and the entire time I had this anxiety that, oh, there could be this train coming. Like, if it comes, what can I do? I can't really, jump off the side of the bridge because then I'd fall into the water. Um, so there was a lot of anxiety about when will the train come? Like, what will I do when it comes? And I'm trying to like go faster and faster, trying to find an end to it, but there doesn't really seem to be any end, and just the whole dream is me just trying to get across this bridge as quickly as possible because I'm really worried about the train, and I'm really worried that if it comes, I won't be able to do anything about it. The next part of the dream, I actually did reach the end of the tracks. And to the side, it was like the tracks ended, and to the side, there was like this little mountain, and there was this little house. So I went in the house, and it was weird because it seemed to be some kind of orphanage. Like there were all these sort of younger kids around, and none of them really had parents, and none of them were really doing anything. I don't really remember that part of the dream that well, but I know that it happened. Anyway, after the orphanage, the dream, it kind of transitioned. Like, it was in the same dream, but it transitioned to this thing where suddenly there were, like, these trials that I had to do, and I had to do with, like, some of my friends, I guess. And, like, there was this trial where I had to walk across this, like, it was like, it looked like the inside of a submarine. I, like, had to go through it, or like a small alley, and like there was water on the ground, and like these waves kept like hitting over and over again against the wall, and it was like trying to avoid the walls, trying to avoid the waves, because if you got hit, then you'd fall and you'd drown. And so it was like a lot of, you were in the submarine hatch, and you were trying to avoid the waves. And I know that there was my friend Jamie with me, and we were both trying our best to, not get hit by the waves and just get to the other side. And I know that at the end there was like Jamie found this secret door, and we went through, and I don't remember what happened after that. But I know later that night, this is kind of a separate dream, and there was a dream where I was like in the African savannah, and there was this really long trail, and the sun was out, and it was like really hot. And I remember seeing this lion, and I was like, oh, that would be cool. I really want to take a picture of the lion and, post it on social media and share it. So I was trying to get a picture of this lion, and I was so focused on getting the picture, I didn't notice that it was getting closer and closer, and then it jumped at me, and I don't, I guess it killed me. Like, I don't know. I remember just like everyone was freaking out, and then the lion just like um, attacked me. And so that was the dream. That was part of it. So the dream image um, I'm going to work on being is myself within the dream, and I guess I'll have a conversation between myself and the dream image. And when I'm normal me, I guess I'll be over here. And when I'm the dream image, I guess I'll be over here. So, what are some feelings that you think you've been having that has sort of led to these dreams you've had of sort of feeling unable to escape, or like entrapped, or like in this area, this small confined area where, bad things could happen? A lot of it is because those feelings. A lot of it is because I am about to graduate, a lot of it is I feel like there's a lot of anxiety and I don't know how much control I have over it, and I think a lot of the dreams about being trapped or dreams about being in an inescapable situation such as the bridge is due to those sort of feelings where I don't have control over my situation and I don't have control of what's going on. I feel like, yeah. In 2020, as the coronavirus thing has occurred, do you think that those feelings of lack of control have like increased? Do you think that's contributed? Yeah, these dreams definitely took place after the 2020 COVID thing, and I had everything set up at Wazoo, and I felt like a lot of things under control, but now that's sort of gone out the window, and so that is a big part of these dreams of feeling entrapped. Is there anything you can speak to about the dream with the lion that you were talking about earlier? Yeah, I think with social media, I always feel like I need to post things, or like if I see something, I need to, if it's not on social media, it isn't known. And I think the dream's just me being like, oh, I gotta post this lion on social media, but I'm so busy posting it, I don't recognize the danger, and then it, kills me. There were a few different dream images that really stood out to me. Well, one of the images is just sort of the experience of being on the bridge, sort of feeling like I'm waiting for the train, and I guess if I had to ask the train a question, I'd be like, why were you coming? Did you know sort of that I was there? And I think that the train would say probably it did not know I was there, and it did not have malicious intent. It just was doing what it was supposed to do, and I just happened to be in the way, and it sort of would probably say it's sort of a natural process or a process of nature that it doesn't really control what it hits. Like, it hits everyone all the same, and just sort of that contributes to the loss of control because you don't have control, and it's kind of out of your area and out of your sympathy, because it's just going to do what it's going to do, and you can't really fight against it. But yeah, so that's one of the dream images that I found really sort of striking. Another dream image that I remember is sort of being in the sort of submarine / alley thing and seeing all the water splashing around. I remember that very vividly, and I guess if I was gonna have a conversation with the water, I'd ask it, like, why was it there? Why, when I opened the door, or how did it get there? Because it was like an alleyway. It didn't look like a place that should sort of hold water. And I think what it would respond is very similar to the train. It's just sort of a primal thing that can't be controlled. And it's just sort of another aspect of how I feel like there's this loss of control because the water is going to do what the water is going to do, and you just sort of have to survive and cope with it. So it honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter why it was there, it just matters your response to it, because there's some things in life that you can't control that are there. There's some things in life that are going to be there and just going to be chaotic, and sort of the output of life, or what people see, is how you respond to it. So I think that the water, like the train, is just sort of this unfeeling, just sort of primal thing that is, with the train, it's like an anxiety that you don't know if it's going to come, because in the dream it never came. But with the water, it's like it's presently there. So I think that's tackling two different types of anxieties about life and the anxieties that I've had. A third sort of dream image I remember vividly is just seeing the lion in the distance during that African savannah dream. And I remember it started out really slowly and it got quicker and quicker. And so I guess the question I would ask it is, do you, did you have any, I mean, I guess I'm asking the same question to all of it, but it does seem to be extremely interrelated. Do you have like any malicious intent? Was I bothering you? Did you want me to leave you alone? And I think the response is that, like the water and like the train, it was just trying to exist in its own way, and I interfered with it, so I got attacked. And so I think within the dream, you see three different sort of uncontrollable, constant, static anxieties. One is the train where there's no proof that it was even there. There's just the environment gave the implication that it was there. The second one was the water, where it was presently there and you just had to deal with it. The third was something that could have been benign, but then I messed with and aggravated, and so then it became more real. So I think that was my brain processing three sorts of uncontrollable entities that don't necessarily wish to harm me, but did at the end of the day.